Hey, what's going on everybody? Brian Franz here with Sentinel Emergency Solutions with another walk around truck video. Highly anticipated. We're really excited about this truck behind me. So this is South Bend, Indiana. Yes, South Bend, Indiana. If you have watched our videos in the past, most of their all their trucks, I think up until this one, are white over red with chrome. This one, black over red, solid blacked out, totally different look for South Bend. Very cool. So I always like to start these videos off with just some fun facts to kind of go through. So overall length of this rescue, and this is a heavy walk-in rescue, no pump, no tank, true rescue. 38 feet 2 inches, overall height 11 foot 2 inches, wheelbase 242 inches. This has a 23K front axle, 31K rear axle, hot dip galvanized frame rails, and an X15 600 horsepower Cummins engine. So I should tell you this, if you're not into rescues, this video is going to be a little bit longer because there's a ton of stuff on this truck. If you don't like rescues, just skip it. It's going to be boring to you. If you're a rescue person, this thing's going to be awesome. So let's get started. We got Whelen warning lights on here, FireTech 72-inch brow light, heated windshield. South Bend has the blacked out version, like I was saying. So name here in the grill, stainless overlay flag, which is on the front, which is really neat. Totally different look for them. Compartments up here. Just some storage compartments, except for here in the middle is the winch. Something neat about this though is you'll see, so this door flips over. This is a portable winch. So this is a 10,000 pound worn winch with synthetic rope on it, all right? Inside of here is the receiver hitch that's just used for holding it. So the winch is just sitting here, but if they want to use it, they can pull it out obviously. And then we got different points on the front bumper to use the winch. And then there's also points all around the base side of the truck out here for the winch as well. Okay, so working our way around here, air outlet, step here on the front bumper. We do a bunch of these to get up on there, to wash the windshield, all that kind of stuff. So neat part to this truck, it's a two-door cab, two-door. So with South Bend, it was a great conversation with those guys. They knew exactly what they wanted, and the two-door played a huge role. So that way in the back, rather than having a huge cab for seating and then throwing stuff in the back, it's a two-door, and then in the walk-in, there's 4 riding positions in there as well. So something to think about. It actually got us this is a 26-foot body on it. So we made the body longer to offset where the custom cab would normally be. So something a little bit different. Amber lights on the outside. These are tied to the turn signal. I don't know if you can see that in the light here, but tied to the turn signal, something a little bit different. Red lights on the inside. In the cab here, we've got an FRC 360 camera system. We have a Vogel auto lube system, and we may at the end of the video do a little bit more stuff on the cab just to kind of go through some of the stuff that's going on there. VMUX welding display on this side, and then like I said, just a ton of stuff. Pretty simple two-door cab. Walking down here, this is the Garona Veld, the auto lube system. So it's sitting here, two-door cab. So our depth tank fill is right here. So that's one thing you got to be a little bit careful of on a two-door. A lot of those things that you're used to aren't in readily available positions. So you just got to find some different areas for stuff because the cab is so short. This does have, you can see the breaker box right here. So this does have a 15 kW PTO direct drive generator. Not hydraulic, it's direct drive. So whenever you're sitting there on scene, pull the park brake, put it in neutral, engage it, it goes into a higher idle, direct drive, so it'll power the whole truck. Ton of shelving, whether it's slide out tool boards on here, roll out trays, everything has a position. I'm not even gonna try to act like I know what South Bend, how they're gonna lay it out. Everything has its own place. We changed this up a little bit. It's a pretty neat airbag storage compartment, I believe is what they're going to do here. So a lot of times you see those kind of stacked up all over the place, which takes a lot of room. I thought this was pretty neat. Just pull the bags out from the top, away you go. Slide out tray here, slide outs, etc. You'll notice there's a lot of 110 volt outlets all over the truck in a bunch of different positions. You need SCBA bottles? They got some at South Bend. I don't even know how many are on here. There's a ton, all right? I feel like these are wheel chocks, I think. Something else kind of neat, if you look at this truck, so they have one drop down step here. So we've done some videos about our drop down safe steps on the Minnesota bodies. You don't have to put it on every single compartment though. I mean, you can see that they said we don't need them on these, and these. On this compartment, they got it here. Whether they're gonna put some heavy stuff up here, whether they just want kind of a refurb, so that way if the rescue's sitting out there, the guy's got a place to sit, it's something else that's unique. This compartment is very cool. Look how tall this freaking door is, all right? It's ginormous, okay? What are they gonna put in here? One fitting. No, I'm just kidding. They've got a ton of stuff that's gonna go on here. I believe their plan is for all of their struts to go in these compartments here, which is why we made this door so tall. So are they gonna use the very corner? Maybe not, but it gives them the ability for different struts. It gives them the ability to grow down the road as new products come out, so on and so forth. They've just got a ton of room on here. And we did these rather than just a regular slide out tool board. We mounted them on some heavy duty slide out trays and then built a board on top of them to give them even heavier capacity. Sorry, we'll come back to that. Here on the back of the truck, walk-in rescue obviously, and we'll do the walk-in whenever we get to the end of the video. We'll go inside. But south bin mud flap on the rear, which is one, very cool. Two, I think serves a pretty good purpose on this truck because it helps from keeping all that debris and all that road grime from going up onto the back door. It kind of helps keep the back of the truck cleaner, I think. You'll notice on here, Whelen warning lights throughout, like I was saying, but up here, we have the Whelen, I believe they're called PELCC, and I'm sorry, Whelen, if I messed up that part number, but it's a turn down light, which rescues are tough, and we had a lot of this conversation with South Bend. When the park brakes pulled, those lights automatically come on. So when you're getting out the back of the truck, you're not walking off into the complete pitch black. You got a little bit of light back here. And then if they want more light, then the driver can turn on the big fire tech scene lights that are throughout the whole truck, but then he can turn on the additional. So we tried to keep that extra safe stuff going there. Inside of the step well, it's just a giant extension cord. And why do we have a giant extension cord? For the winch, right? Every point you could put in the power points. Some of these have power points, but we wanted one location for this. So if the ones on the side of the truck go bad, if they corrode, if they fall apart, they can take this thing out and it'll reach all sides of the truck except for the front, obviously. But they got those sides. We'll go in here in a minute, but just a quick little piece here. You can see the back and we'll walk in there. Well, let's go. So inside of here, the first thing that you might notice are some of these green lights that are on right now. So the theory here is whenever the parking brake is engaged, that the green lights come on. So the crew back here knows that the brake is set and I can get out. Then whenever they're going to a call, and we can override it right here, but as soon as they release the parking brake, now all the lights back here will turn red. So now they know the parking brake's released. We better sit down, we're moving, so on and so forth. And then whenever they get there, obviously the green lights will come back on, and then we've got white lights in here to override as well. So now you got a ton of light just to be able to light everything up. So working our way down here, we've got two pockets. These are for their big airbags. In the back there is some ladder storage and some pike poles, so open the door, quickly get out the back of the truck. These are, like I said, they're huge airbags that we just didn't have a good spot on the outside of the truck, so they're just gonna sit in here, pull them if they need them. You'll see inside of here just a ton of different shelving, a quick hitch release here. So they got just a bunch of different room inside of here for just stuff. I mean, there's a ton of storage in here. I was saying a little bit ago, we've got 4 seats back here, riding positions. Obviously, if we did an SCBA seat, the seat would stick out too far into the walkway. So in between each one of these is the IMMI Smart Dock for each position. So they'll have their SCBA. Sigtronics headset system, so they can talk to the driver and the officer. Each one of these are seat rated, so you'll see some of this beefy structure underneath here. So the seat boxes are rated in the event of a rollover. Coming up here to the front, one thing that we tried really hard when we were designing this truck, these guys didn't want the guys in the back to feel like they couldn't see anything out the front or know what was going on. So we put this TV here, which is just an awesome feature. I rode back here on a test drive and it just helps tremendously. So now they can see out the front. So the concept is if I'm sitting here, at least I know what we're pulling up to. I've got a window on both sides so I can kind of see out as I'm going. So that way I know what's about to happen. Down here, is a 12 volt heat and AC. So while the truck's running, and we got frontal air conditioning. Now I got the rear crew, so they can be hot or cold, whatever it may be. And then above me is 110 volt AC. So our theory here is if I pull up and we're on a scene for 3-4 hours, maybe 45 minutes, whatever it may be, they can turn the generator on. I got 12 volt heat and AC, and I've got 110 volt heat and AC. The other thing that's really neat on the back of the truck is there's a Kussmaul 30 amp plug-in, I believe, that'll run this. So if it's sitting in the engine house and it's 100 degrees out one day, they can have the door closed, and when they get in, it's going to be ice cold sitting in here because this thing will be running with the truck completely off as well. So pretty neat. The other thing that's on here is this fire research two-way talk. So from the front, the driver and officer can hear what's going on back here. They got constant volume, I guess is what you would say. But then they can press a button, kind of like on the tip of the ladder, so we can talk back and forth. So the driver can say, hey, let's go, and everybody kind of knows what's going on in the event that they don't have their headset on yet. So it's just another way to really keep all that communication. You can see the little camera sitting up here. So in the front again, the driving officer, they got a view, so that way they can see what's going on back here. If somebody is not buckled, they're driving, they're ready to go, whatever it may be, all those things. So even though you can't see the driving officer, we wanted to keep it really together so they all know what's going on. And then throughout here, there's more 110 volt plug-ins and some additional 12 volts and USBs and just a variety of stuff. Escape hatch up here, so if somebody can't get out the back door, boom, you can get out the back of the truck. So they put a ton of thought into this whenever we were designing it. So this is that plug that I was talking about on the back. So you have your normal shoreline on the side to keep the truck batteries charged. This is designed specifically for the HVAC system in the back of the truck. Another big tall compartment here, identical to the other side, but again, you can see how big that door is. These are all pretty much the same as the other side may be. So slide out trays, shelves, this compartment's different. This has a swing out tool board built inside of it. And then obviously pack track, which is awesome. If you haven't done much pack track stuff, you can mount that on the back wall, and then you can mount it here. It just gives you a ton of maneuverability for whenever you buy new stuff and however you may lay it out as you go. The other thing I like about the pack track, it's got slots up here so you can adjust the board to and from. So if you put narrow things here, you can put bigger stuff on the back, things like that. Storage. This compartment I'm really excited about. So this is a new company, Plastics Plus. If you have not seen this, these are pretty neat things that South Bend had found, but their rescue tools are going to sit here. So you see a lot of rescue tools sitting on a shelf for the Lazy Susans. We do a bunch of those that we see, but these are different and pretty neat on how they're going to lay out on here. So the tools are going to sit this way, I guess two, maybe a ram over here, two, and then maybe something else over here. They got the room for it, and then you got your shelf up here as well. This is actually a pull-out sit down. I was wrong, I guess you're gonna put rams right here. So they just got a ton of room, a ton of storage for all their rescue tool stuff. Cord reel, I think is 150 feet. The one note that I did not take on here, I think it's 150 feet of, I think that's 10-3 wire. All right, storage here. Slide out trays, shelves. Where do you put the batteries on a two-door cab? We got to find a place for batteries. So again, these are discussions to have whenever you're designing this, if you do a two-door, on where this is going to mount. So we had to take up some body room for that. This is the cab tilt pump, hydraulics right here. So it's just, when you think you're going to have that storage, there's some things that you got to take into account here. I did not open this door on the other side, but you can see right up in here is the Kussmaul charger, and the pump is sitting up there. And then this is a transverse compartment all the way through. So these pull-out tilt downs are huge, huge. Same way for up here. Gotta be careful, smack you in the face if you're not careful, but there's a ton of room on these strings. And then again, over here on the officer side, there is no Vista display over here, but we talked about the back where the controllers are for the volume and some of that stuff. So we'll show you all of those things as well. So South Bend has a lot of Rosenbauers from us, from me personally, on behalf of Sentinel, on behalf of Rosenbauer. Thank you, South Bend, for everything. We truly value that partnership. I personally did this truck with these guys. I mean, I had a ton of fun working with this group because they knew everything that they wanted. So Chief Buchanan, the fire chief, Assistant Chief Skorkin, the Assistant Chief Damiano, the Rescue One truck committee guys. I truly, from the bottom of our heart here at Sentinel, thank you all very much for everything. Come see this at FDIC. It's going to be there. You want to get your hands on this truck.